FlyQuest are our last game of the season. I mean, technically the season's over already. These are just the extra games, the tiebreakers we're playing, because we've got to seed some playoffs. This is the in-between.
I say it's part of the season.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
It's deciding the regular season standings.
That's true.
Which to me feels like part of the season. So
yep,
we are in it. Takoi getting that Veigar respect ban.
Get out of there.
A lot of people not wanting Jose to get his lease in. He's been drawing a lot of bans today. It feels like in all three games, it's been like 2 jungle bans in the first round. This time it is only going to be the one. Jinx, Veigar, a lot of the scaling picks being taken off the table. Impact going to lose his Tryndamere and a couple of bans towards JoJo. Going to be interesting to see if FlyQuest, in fact, does just go ease of execution, 5v5, front to back type team fighting that they have been really kind of prioritizing so far today. It's a great success.
I'm ready for on round 2 from Kumo at this point. I think FlyQuest definitely feeling comfy there. Viego also open, notably S8D8 is going to get the draft priority. Who takes that jungler, had that banned away in the last game up against Golden Guardians. But the answer is pretty straightforward here for EG. It is Zeri for Danny and very likely Nautilus for Vulcan.
Yep, going to be bringing out the Zeri again. Had a great game on it earlier today against CLG. And has been one of the best Zeri players for sure. I think I want to say this is his 7th game. The stats I'm looking at show 5, but I don't think it counted the earlier game yet. I wouldn't think it'd be updated. So I'm going to say this is his 7th Zeri game, which would put it actually just below Jinx as his 2nd most played. Nautilus coming through again. Super high prio on this pick. And with a lot of the jungle bans coming out, Viego has really risen in priority. If things are kind of going to chalk, we've been seeing so much volley in these types of situations. But it is, in fact, going to be Ahri here blind. So now the question is, does EG want to go towards matching jungle, or will they go towards, potentially a counter pick? Hovering the Vex, I think, is saying, hey, you might pick this. That might be your answer. So I'm interested to see what EG's prio is going to be. Braves, if they go this is like very different. This is way more mid-gamey. It's not a lot of engage. They're going to need to draft engage, I think, for Afro to be able to really kind of start things out. But this is like a complete left turn from where they were in the last couple games, where it was like all front to back, draft for late. This is much more scrappy, much more mid-game. And we'll see how they want to try to round out this composition. While EG are going to have to really decide, do we pick mid here or do we go jungle?
Syndra, I wonder? JoJo's played it already. Both he and Takoi actually have been very good on the pick. And there it is, JoJo Syndra. He's throwing down the gold in the mid lane 1v1.
Yep, so he's going to be bringing this out into the Ahri. He gets counter pick. But it's such an interesting draft because usually there's more parity in the picks. The only matched pick was mid, where we have jungle and top for Fly, and we had a full bot lane for EG. So they can potentially ban out. Like, if I was EG, I would actually ignore marksman. I would ban out engage supports. I think that FlyQuest will hard struggle without engage supports. So if you ban out, like Leona, if you ban out, there you go. If you ban out something like that, and maybe even like an Alistar. Thresh to me is more of like a follow-up. So I would think that would be less of an issue. Rakan could be another option as well, as far as the things that Afro has actually been playing. Of course, he can go, you can't always reach further, but those are the ones that he's been playing the most. So going to be interested to see if that's the option. Volley was the jungle pick that I kind of mentioned, fitting in a lot of these situations. So that will be taken off, and we'll find out. I mean, it's just there's so many ADs up. Like, banning another AD here is just so useless to me. Like, it really should be another engaged support. But Braum instead, it's interesting. Like, maybe that's the option that FlyQuest has been going for. Like, that's what TL went for, basically, when they played their, like, triple marksman comp. They had Braum. And a lot of teams have like that with multiple marksman teams, and this is going to be that because we have Graves top. So I think that makes some sense, and it's also really strong against Syndra as an interaction there, blocking the ultimate. So it makes sense, but I still just think FlyQuest need engage, so like that would have been more where I was looking.
I think Zeri also just hates playing against Braum.
Yeah.
So I definitely see the logic, but Hecarim going to get banned away. Interesting, we usually see a lot of phase 1 Hecarim bans that was left through here. So now it is Inspired, the newest player, and Impact, one of the most experienced players, certainly the most experienced player on this EG, left to take the last few picks here. Oh, baby, we're doing it.
Okay, this will be interesting to see if he does want to go Akali. I mean, he has brought it out a couple times so far.
It's been good.
So it's double AP soul laners. So you do have basically the need for an AD jungler. It's so interesting to see them leaving that for last. But in this situation, it makes sense because both the soul laners are already showing, right? So hide your jungle pick. Find it if you can get like a really good kind of contextual pick there. And even if not, you don't lose anything because you already knew what you were going to be laning against. There's not going to be a Graves lane swap or anything like that. So now it's time for the bot lane to be drafted here from Afro. Tom Kench, so a little bit of a gauge.
Yeah,
but not
yeah, that's
really.
true.
Like it's much more on the defensive side.
Yeah.
It's much more, oh, here comes the Akali or the Syndra ult, and you're going to answer that. So we'll have to see how FlyQuest can actually function without the forms of hard engage, because I do think they have struggled when they don't have clear win conditions, when they don't have the ability to just have those go buttons that they have had in these last couple games.
Yeah, my brain defaulted to old Tom Kench, who is like a purely defensive champion.
Okay, I like this.
They found some engage.
Yeah, so this is a smart workaround here. You know, Han Sama has been going to it 3 straight games, has won all those games on it. Well, TL wins all games.
Hey.
But it is going to be Johnson bringing in the Ashe. So I think this makes a lot of sense. Does give them some sort of hard engage. Of course, it's not like as guaranteed like the Nautilus and stuff. It's not point and click. But if you can play from fog, you can be pretty consistent with those arrows, especially since the buff came in. Xin makes a lot of sense. Early game power. Also, the ultimate really does answer these multiple marksman comps very, very effectively because you can't really get inside realistically to consistently deal damage to that Xin. So Graves and Ashe going to have some trouble dealing with that. I'm going to say I really like EG's comp. I think there's a lot of kind of early and mid game power to answer what FlyQuest has, and I do think it's easier to play out their composition later on. FlyQuest is really going to have to, I think, get some early prio from Kumo, try to utilize that to enable Jose to maybe kind of take his hold on the game. And if you can have success through that top side, I can see them being successful, but it's just not been the FlyQuest way.
Yeah, it'd be fun to see it. EG, to me, kind of like, yep, we're going to gap you, and if we don't, Danny's got our back on the Zeri. We'll see how FlyQuest navigate, definitely kind of splitting the difference on the comps they've played so far. EG seem to be the favorites here in this one. We'll see if that holds true or not.
Everyone predicting them on the desk. And they've got a strong comp, a lot of comfort picks here for them. Good engage there for Vulcan, Dady on his Zeri. It's going to be a really exciting one. Such an important matchup for these two teams. It's all down to this for upper bracket.
Close to figuring out what teams are going to be in what order.
Do they have? Okay, never mind. I thought they were good. They're trying to show Jose like they're doing nothing, but they're looking for a little bit of an invade mid. No one's covering mid here for EG, so they didn't actually see this wraparound, but I don't know how much it's going to matter. I think that they're going to go for the level 1 invade that we actually have seen. This was actually what basically TL did against TSM, but they are backing off now. It's interesting. I mean, I think it can be quite effective. Anytime you have the Graves, like, and EG is clearly worried about it because they actually called Vulcan top. So Vulcan is here to try to answer, and I think Vulcan will actually wait at level 1 and try to defend this invade, which is a nice adaptation.
It is certainly nice.
Oh, he's just going to play behind him, yeah. So they're only showing the jungle, and if they go for this invade, it is going to fall flat on its face for FlyQuest. So luckily for them, it looks like they are backing off, and I think they will kind of avert disaster unknowingly.
Yep, seems like they've sniffed it out. Vulcan going to go back down to lane. Going to be a little bit late. But shouldn't matter too much. Don't really expect Zeri to get a whole lot of traction in the early game 2v2 regardless. Ashe is surprisingly good in lane, actually.
Yeah, Ashe is, I think, a really strong laner. You have good default attack range. The volley does help you push. It helps you poke NCS at the same time, which is one of the things that is very, very nice about that. Is JoJo taking some big early trades here onto Tukoi, but Tukoi able to get that last auto off to plaque the electrocute and then dodge the next Q, so evens it out pretty well.
He has Ignite as well. I love this. JoJo is ready to duel. I was like, these matchups already going to be a banger because they love to kill each other, but JoJo's really trying to kill Tukoi now.
Yeah, he's looking to slam him. And JoJo is our most lane dominant mid laner in the league.
By far.
Criticize him for how he plays sometimes out of lane, sure. But you cannot knock this guy's laning phase. He creates leads like no one else, and he is hitting everything, it feels like, on Tukoi, who only has 1 potion charge less and 3 CS to his name, so he's got to be able to last a lot longer than that to get a decent recall here.
Of course, the other problem with the way Jojo plays.
Spot it.
That sometimes you get got by the enemy jungler, Inspired is going to get spotted. That Hawkshot being put to good use, and I'm going to keep a close eye on mid lane because I see Jose at his Raptors, and I see Jojo basically under the enemy tower.
Yeah, it is always a little bit dicey, but he does have a nice ward there. You can see kind of at the top of your screen, just right here. He's got that ward.
Betrayed.
To be able to.
Hey!
He pulled it back. They have my back. I actually betrayed them. You know, they didn't
That's
see it
true,
coming.
that's
It's not on the observer. It's on me. Impact here, gonna get pushed in. Have to kind of accept that in this matchup. No shot you're really going to get the push early on as a Kali into basically anything. So Graves going to be able to have the push. Impact just going to go for the resolve secondary. I'm expecting he's second win. Let's check. He is in fact second win. Second win D-Shield. That's kind of the like, I don't want to die type rune setup and an early buy. And that will help to keep him safe as Jose can clear this out. Not quite.
Oh, no.
Went a little bit over too late. But topside Scuttle will be traded. He's trying to get over there, but not going to be able to get there in time, so Inspired will be able to grab a Scuttle of his own and potentially even get a gank here on Kumo, who's very far up and I think has a false sense of security because his jungler was pathing to topside.
Yep, Ignite again. Remember here for Impact, Kumo is going to dash out of the way. He's going to have to flash, so Inspired with a very nice force.
Yep, flash the W. Had to do that, otherwise Inspired would have been able to follow through and potentially kill him. But behind Kumo, is he want to go for it? No, he's not going to do it, as obviously Ahri was not there, so no sense in doing that. Kumo stays around, though. He doesn't actually base because he wanted to fix the wave. The wave has crashed now enough. This will bounce, so he can kind of chill and doesn't need to expose himself too much. But it is always a little bit dicey. Like, yes, you know the wave's going to come to you, but you want to crash the wave and you want to keep the pressure on. And because he has the ward on Krugs, he has the safety to do that because he sees Inspired. He knows that Inspired's not coming here right now. So you get the reset, you try to get a decent buy here, and you're probably going to recall off of this. But they've had really good eyes on Inspired, who's kind of laying in wait here. Going to run into Jose, but Jojo will have the faster collapse. Jose's got to be careful here, man.
Yeah, Kumo, though, rotating down from top lane, but here comes Jojo trying to set it up. Jose is low, but still fighting there as Tukoi's going to flash as well. Jojo is going for it! The man's a madman, but he picks up first blood for his side, and now Kumo going to get knocked up and killed. Inspired gets kill number 2, and Tukoi is going to be dead as well. Is there a trade? No, there's not. Inspired finds the double.
Evil reigning supreme over good here as FlyQuest take this fight, and I'm not sure why that was the one to kind of draw your line in the sand, because it's not like Jojo's pushed in. You know, he has the faster roam. Like he was out. So here's the thing, right? You know, if you have a situation where Jojo is actually back here and has to walk all the way around, sure. But Jojo has first move. He's right here. Like, he's going to be able to actually make this happen very quickly. He's playing Ignite. He's playing the Combat Summoner here. And Jose takes this fight. Maybe he can win the 1v1, but Ahri's got to walk the long way around. He's not going to be able to be involved. And Jose scrapping this out until he's very low. Yes, he flashes back to Kumo. Kumo's got no mana and hasn't based yet. He's not going to have enough damage to actually finish this off. And this is just overzealous from Jose there, going deep on this play when his team doesn't have the tools, doesn't have the positioning to actually back him up. And that is devastating for them. You give 2 kills over to Inspired. You give Jojo not only the kill on the Ignite Syndra, but you give him a free base because Vulcan then helped him to shove it out. So he gets a free reset, and Tokoi is down now on his TP. And now Kumo is not really in any sort of an advantage over Impact. So Impact's gotten basically a free 6 in this matchup where you're supposed to be getting pressured heavily.
Yep. The good news, the Impact didn't get any assist gold.
Yep.
That's it. That's all there is.
It's a small bit of good news, but it is something. And it's concerning though, because I do just think this comp is very kind of early mid-game focused. And it's going to be tough for them, you know, going forward unless they can make something happen.
Ooh, what beautiful
nice.
dodging from Takoi.
Fancy
My goodness.
feet.
Drew a little box around all the incoming spheres. Very nicely done. Inspired, by the way. 1,500 gold up for EG pretty much after the back of that play. Of course, Inspired has the lion's share of that. So very easy for him to walk down and take that first dragon.
Yeah. He has a good 800 gold in his advantage, so really nice for him. No shot of a dive really on this push here. We'll see if they can get anything done. The Shroud is down, but Takoi probably going to have to pop his ulti here on the roam.
No flash. Jojo a little bit late on the play, but there's the stun follow-up. Ulti unleashed, and it's just so easy. Jojo set up by Vulcan.
Great roam there by Vulcan, and Takoi wanted to greet it out, and by the time he popped the ulti there, it's too little too late because the passive route comes through, the scatter's going to follow, and you are dead to rights. He wanted to hold on to the ulti. I understand. You're already losing this matchup. Ulti with a gank coming in is maybe the only way you can actually turn it around. But when Vulcan shows up, you got to respect that. You got to ult on the hook to be able to dodge. Did Impact spot that?
Yeah, I think so.
There's no red side pings. He didn't see it.
All right, Impact going in. Does have the ulti. Flips away, but Jose is going to be the big problem here. Now goes Impact back in.
Nicely played.
Pops the ulti. Very nicely done. He's going to be able to get out. Thought about going back in, but thinks better of it.
Yep. It's an early Hex Drinker here, even for Kumo. So Kumo's really going for the 1v1. He's like, all right, we got to make something happen. It's also double AP Soul Laner, so I think it's going to be pretty darn effective overall. But things looking really bad for FlyQuest so far. EG has a lot of tempo, has a lot of pressure here. And Inspired playing up around this top side. They are potentially moving over to try to contest this. Yeah, there's not really an angle for FlyQuest to try to finish because Vulcan moved up. Jojo is around, has his Ignite back, so Inspire says, yep, just got to wait in this brush a little bit, wait till Impact gets the push. Now you have push in top, so he has first move, Kumo's low, it's ours.
Yeah, Vulcan is 6 as well, by the way. So very threatening. You don't normally see Vulcan actually get that much XP because he roams so much, but now we go again. No ulti for Syndra this time. Great charm from Sequoia. Now Vulcan actually to get knocked around here, and that is a beautiful bit of counterplay out of FlyQuest. That is going to be a kill for Jose8D8, and now Jojo going to get exhausted there as well. The hook is good, and Jojo is going to get shut down.
Jose is the roaming Nautilus now. The hook is on the other side. He comes through. They kill off Vulcan, and then the hook lands on Jojo, who is flashless. A big punish. They had the answer there. Afro was matching the roam, but Jose was there too, so they had the extra man. Vulcan wanted to go for this aggressive play to really punish Decoy to hammer home that advantage, who had already died twice. But this time, FlyQuest is there to bail him out. Really good play from Afro and Jose. They have the read on the play. They turn that around. 2 kills go FlyQuest's way. 2 plates go Johnson's way because Danny's in the 1v2.
Yep.
Just like that, they're back in the game.
That's 600 gold up now for EG. They were up 2k off of their early game, so very nicely done for FlyQuest to right the ship here. And yep, Danny, as is often the case, left alone in an unfavorable situation because they know he'll safely get farm. He's good at playing weak side as an AD, and he'll be great come mid to late game. And Vulcan, he gets stuff done. Unfortunately, kind of got in the mid lane.
Stuff done. It just wasn't for the right team, unfortunately, this one.
Not in that second play. First one was great. Second one, not so much.
First one was great, and the second one, I will defend that I think it's more of an outplay by FlyQuest than a misplay. You know, I think it's actually a pretty reasonable play to look for that, you know, knowing ulti was still down. I'm not sure if Decoy had his flash or not, but I think it's a nice aggressive move that would likely trade flashes in a lot of cases and maybe get a kill is the upside. But because they had, it wasn't just Afro, it was the fact that both were there to answer really did punish. And Vulcan back here around mid. This time Inspired is there saying, no more 2v3s for us. 3v3s only from now on.
Yeah, Vulcan and Inspired kind of glued together at this point. Maybe have something here if they think Kumo's in the enemy jungle.
Get out of there.
Uh-oh, now spotted Inspired. Vulcan's gone the same way, though. Inspired.
2Y for leash.
Yep, takes that one away. Feels good, man. Hey, look, the wave's here, and the Rift held up topside.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing, is that FlyQuest often doesn't play through Kumo, and I think that's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I prefer them playing these, like, scaling comps where he can, like, be a hard engage, whatever. He can kind of take the L. When he's playing Ornn, it's like, he zoned off the wave. That's cute. Who cares, right? When you're playing Graves against Akali early on, and you're going for the 1v1, and you're building Hex Drinker for that 1v1, and you're getting zoned off the wave, that's a problem. And he's trying to fight his way back to the tower.
Oh, goodness. Ignite! Impact didn't press ulti 1, waiting for the shield to wear up maybe. I'm not sure what he's worried about, but doesn't want to go for it. Doesn't have vision of where the enemy jungler is. Impact is going to proxy this wave.
Yeah, I think maybe his read was that it would get negated a lot by the Hex Drinker proc, so he maybe wanted to wait it out. Didn't quite think he had full lethal damage, but going to be able to proxy wave. Kumo can do the same thing, though, so Kumo should be chilling out. It's just the Ignite for a bit of pressure, but Impact still putting on a good little showing here up in the top side. Has had a very good Akali. It's one of those picks that, like, you wouldn't really identify as an Impact pick, but has always had in his wheelhouse. And that alongside the Kennen, I would say, are kind of like the 2 AP champs that he's always been very good at. And even back when you think to, like, the Nico kind of like on-hit style builds, he was pretty adept with that as well.
Inspired maybe hits Decoy looking for a pick. Good flash from Inspired. Nice little sidestep as well to the left. Does not get chummed up by Decoy, but does have to burn the summoner.
And it doesn't cost Decoy his ult. He didn't actually overcommit to that. So he just kind of postured, waited, and force that flash, it's going to mean they get Dragon as well. So FlyQuest stabilizing somewhat, doing a good job here in these last couple minutes. And it's a very quick Triforce for Jose, so really aggressive build. It is higher DPS, but almost always you see like Divine Thunder, like almost 100% of the time on Viego. So we're seeing people kind of buck the trend a little bit. We saw it in TL's game. Both Bjergsen and his Bwipo went different mythics. Now we're seeing a different mythic here from Jose. So nice to see a little bit of variety, and I think, against what is quite a squishy team, like I think it can make sense. If you're saying, hey, I got to carry, go high DPS, get that additional damage on the Sheen proc, maybe it can make it happen. That's always a little bit of an embarrassing Herald when you have to drop it way far back, but it doesn't look like anyone's there to actually stop it. So I think it's actually going to get the charge regardless, because you look at the map, no one's there. Oh, that's annoying. I hate that.
Vulcan at it again. At mid lane, here comes the Herald, though, like you mentioned. This is huge for Impact's individual lead. Already up, wow, 700 gold. Arrow's going to fly. Does nail Danny, but a good
nice
buffer there.
Yeah.
Gets himself out.
Yeah, well played. That's what you'll see a lot of the good series do, is they hug the wall, they see the CC about to hit, E over the wall. It's still going to pull you through. EG roaming back towards bot side. Vulcan has been everywhere. He's taking a world tour. Yeah, so he has to make a pit stop back home, and Danny is home. You get back, you do your laundry, you help him pick up a wave or two, and then you're back on the road.
Well, there's something happening in top lane, but I think it has subsided. Yes, it has. Impact's going to walk away. Still has ulti, though. Yeah, tower's dead. That's good news. Did get the first tower gold. Did get 4 plates. Couldn't quite get the last one, but still got the job done. And now it goes back home. Riftmaker is purchased.
Yeah. The inventories don't look too even up there in that top lane.
I agree.
It's a little bit of sadness here. It just kind of has the garage sale there over on the Graves. He's got the please don't kill me, Mr. AP. Got the Hex Drinker plus the Merc Treads, Vamp Scepter in, so he is miles from the Mythic. And with Tier 2 boots plus Riftmaker already completed, Impact is ready to go. One of the strongest members on the map. Inspired getting those early kills, so it's kind of just power farmed since then. He is always a player that really does prioritize heavily farming, trying to take away enemy camps, creating an advantage through that. Gotta some credit to Tukoi though. After what was a brutal start, he's even on farm. So, credit to him for kind of stabilizing and farming it out very well over the last 10 minutes or so.
Yep. Everfrost done. Danny, of course, was up in the top lane. I think if EG are looking for new merchandise opportunities, I think Danny branded vacuums could be quite successful because the man just hoovers up farms anywhere he goes. But Inspired's going to start this Herald. EG have full control of the river right now, and they're going to use that to get this second Herald for themselves.
MR definitely going to be a premium here for FlyQuest, because even Zeri actually does a pretty significant portion of magic damage. With the ulti, like the kind of little laser bounce, for lack of a better term, I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. That does kind of ricochet around. That is magic damage. The zap is magic damage. So there's a significant portion. It's probably like 30-40% of Zeri's damage is magic, and then you have double AP soul laners, so it's going to be strong.
Impact at it again. Jose's only level 9. Impact's looking for the solar bowler. Jose burning down, and that's going to be a kill for someone. Danny's like, thank you very much for the gold. Oh, it gets him with the little burst there.
Yeah, not in range for the zap, so he just hits him with the ulti. Kumo on the run here, on the wrong side of town. It's a 4v2, and the Herald gets dropped. They're going to try to pull off this dive.
Flash for Afro, flash for Kumo. Maybe a tricky dive, but the Herald gets dropped. Stun is good there. Gets the Devour, but Inspire going to get the knockup. Keep him in place. The dive is happening. Afro tries to make the play, but Jojo lives just barely. And that's going to be 2 more there for EG.
And Kumo didn't use his ulti. That sucks. That should have been a kill. Onto Jojo. Didn't get the Graves ultimate off. Not able to finish him. At least he would have got something back, but man, EG get multiple kills there. Jose gets caught out, soloed down basically by Impact. Yeah, Danny collects the kill, but that was Impact doing the heavy lifting. And then off of that, he's dead. They go for the 4v2 play on bot side, utilize the Herald to get a tower, 2 more kills. EG, a big swing in this game, gets them so much. We can watch this one more time. Afro holding Devour pretty long here. It's the early ulti. He devours actually after, so a bit of a late Devour there from Afro. I'm not sure if he's trying to wait for something else. And Kumo here CC'd up pretty heavily. I do think he should have been able to get the ulti off towards the Syndra. Maybe he didn't realize who had tower aggro. Kind of lost track of that in that fight, but that should have at least been a trade kill.
Instead, it's just 2 for EG, plus the tower, the Herald being a very effective dive buddy there for the rest of EG, and they're up about 3,500 gold. A similar lead that we saw GG with, but very different compositions this time. As the pressure continues, Afro is forced to flash out. And Impact, my goodness, he's ready. He's going to 1v4. He's going to try it at least. Now backs away. The arrow hits onto Inspired, so EG are going to fall back together.
Yep, they do get the TP out, so they're happy with that. Impact committed his teleport, so they at least want to get the match from Kumo. They do so. So they will just back it off, not overextending there. They force the flash from Afro too, which is always going to be nice. But yeah, I mean, FlyQuest was in a very similar position against Golden Guardians, but they just don't have the scaling. They don't have the same kind of like front to back style comp they want to play. And EG now, rinse and repeat, they're straight back up here. Skoi does have his TP to join, but still, you're going to be down a man.
Yeah, nice little bait here for EG, wrapping back around kind of the long con there as Impact trying to 1v1 the top laner in the midst of it all. Afro is going to get stunned up and killed. Impact with a massive ult through 2 more and Inspired. He's on a rampage. Kumo's going to die. Vulcan trying to live on the other side, but here comes Danny swooping in to save the day.
Yeah, that is a lot of kills, a lot of gold going their way. Johnson going to try to get something back mid. Won't quite be able to finish off the tower, unfortunately for him. But it's more going the way of EG as they just go for the wraparound play again. A really nice repeat push towards top. As FlyQuest try to shove that out, they don't have a tier 1 though, so EG just go for the same play again, wrapping around once more. They have the members there earlier, so they can pull off the collapse. They knew the Afro didn't have his flash, and they're going to be able to grab the dragon off the back of this, so extending their advantage even further.
Danny going to go back, do some shopping. Has been out on the field for quite a while, just as the Tiamat and a Ruby Crystal. So, of course, going towards that Titanic second is the standard Zeri build. Inspired's going to finish up the Cloud Dragon. Doesn't need to worry too much. There's no help coming there from FlyQuest. And Impact going to babysit the mid lane for a bit as EG continue to grow their gold lead up to 4,500. So last time I checked, don't know how many minutes ago that was. That's 1,000 more than the last time they were there. So that's got to be a pretty good pace.
Yeah, absolutely. They are looking very strong, been able to push this forward quite well, grabbing another dragon to their name. So 4.5 minutes away from a potential soul point. If they can grab that dragon, you know, grab themselves another win condition is going to feel really, really nice. But EG have been the ones dictating the pace of this game. You know, it has been, it feels like, really kind of just heavily in their favor ever since that failed invade. The 3-for-0 for EG really kind of set the tone here, as it meant FlyQuest was going to be on the back foot without as many kind of insurance policies as they had drafted previously. So they're going to have to see some nice picks potentially coming through. Haven't really seen any big arrows yet from Johnson, so I want to see them try to set up these pockets of vision. You know, there are these plays where it's like you can play right in this kind of area around a pink ward, and you hang out in there and you shoot the arrow out from fog, try to create these picks. You got to be proactive with it, and they're going to try to do just that.
Good flash from Danny, of course. Got the fast hands there on the
great
Zeri,
trade.
but that is a very good trade. Ash ulti, much shorter cooldown than Flash.
Exactly. So rinse and repeat. Continue to look for that. You have to be proactive, because if you only go once in a while, they're going to have a response, right? You have to be shooting out every single time the cooldown is up. EG daring someone to clear that ward, trying to wait for a pick, because JoJo was over there, Inspire was over there. If you try to clear that ward, they would have been able to find an easy scatter over the wall. Now just pushing this in, clearing out vision, trying to maintain control in this topside river, and holding that vision around the Baron for now. Not that they're necessarily going to go for it, but that would be the objective on the table, and it kind of just exerts a little bit of pressure, because the next dragon isn't still for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, looks a bit silly going back and forth, but the mid lane outers are both definitely towers each team can threaten. They're very valuable if you can grab them. There's a lot of back and forth here, trying to kind of wait for the next objective, because hard to grab space when these towers are still up, and Danny and his little Tiamat are clearing there alongside the Zeri, and of course there's plenty of wave clear for Fly as well. So team's kind of parking there right now, but they will move on in a second.
Yep, absolutely. And Danny has all the components, so very close to the completion of that Titanic. Impact did complete his Demonic Embrace, so early 2 items here for Impact on the Akali. Going to be very tanky, high sustained damage in these long, scrappy fights with this style of build, plus Conqueror. And we'll see what he can get done here. You know, Kumo has been on the back foot for quite a long time in this matchup. You know, struggling to have that same level of pressure. I'm expecting to see maybe a Void Staff third for Impact, unless he wants to go just purely for the Zonias, because there is going to be a lot of MR, you have to think, being bought up on the other side. Like, a lot of Mercs are already through. We have 4 pairs, plus you have the Hex Drinker, and I think other people get a lot of value out of it as well.
Big expedition here from Vulcan into the enemy jungle. The rest of EG will follow. It's the Koi and Afro trying to set the trap on the other side, but EG just going to steal the red and be happy with that.
Grab the red. move back out, just continue pushing in these waves, trying to steal away camps, trying to put on pressure where they can, and just slowly but surely extending this gold advantage. Just about 5K now. So gone up a couple hundred more as Decoy will move out towards topside and try to threaten this tower, but it is quite healthy, if my recollection is correct.
Nice little dodge there for Danny. Again, big difference when they can see it versus when they can't. So Danny just sidesteps it pretty deftly there.
Yep. Does use the heal for the move speed boost, so at least they get something. But absolutely, you know, it's about playing in fog more so than anything else. You know, especially when you're playing at this level, people just dodge them so effectively if they have any sort of ability to do it. And Zeri obviously does have a dash plus the heal for move speed. Not expecting to hit that one if Danny can see it coming.
All right, well, Danny continuing to shove waves in. Johnson going to catch this one, but looks like we are going to prepare for the upcoming dragon. It is EG on the fast track for the soul right now. It did hit a bump in the road with Fly getting that first Hextech dragon, but EG going to be off to the Cloud Soul relatively swiftly here if they can grab dragon number 3. As Decoy is hoping that Jojo gets greedy, but to his credit, not going to go forward this time.
Yeah, and it also feels like a pretty unlikely one, because if you look at the wave, like the wave is so far away, right?
Yeah.
Where is this next wave? Why would Jojo be staying for this next wave that's going to land here in about 20 seconds, right? And just now is it there? So it's like, was he really going to AFK at the tower that long before Dragon? It is unlikely. You know, it's not really that big of a deal, but things like that to me speak to how a team see their state in the game, right? That he's staying long this long top when Dragon is going to be bot side and you're going to give that up is like, oh God, the game is really going bad. We need something. So you try to go for unlikely plays. You try to think about where they might expect you to be, and you're willing to commit longer to a play to try to make it happen.
Yeah, EG know this. They've taken full control of this side of the map. There is bottom lane pushing thanks to Kumo, but EG are going to be too worried about this. Just going to zoom on in, take this, and there are TPs for both of the AP champions up in the top lane, but I think, to your point, FlyQuest are not interested right now in trying to fight, although maybe I'm speaking a little too quickly.
Yeah, I think EG are just going to wait for Impact to move. They want to get the TP out at the very least as the answer. So Impact's roaming, so that's why they pull off, and they're just going to wait till he's here. He has first move, and now they know, all right, it's guaranteed ours. So Impact just walks down to mid lane. He'll lose a bit of farm top. It might be a bit of tower damage down, but instead they're going to change the lane assignments. They'll send Impact down towards bot. It's going to be Syndra escorted up here by the Zeri and the Nautilus to cover top. So making sure that no one could be laying in wait. You know, there's no Jose Diodo type situation where it's a 2v1. And EG are just playing very well around what the win conditions would be for FlyQuest, which is absolutely get a pick.
Yeah, it feels like EG just kind of have to avoid what FlyQuest is looking to do because their gold lead's so big that I think they can kind of coast pretty comfortably. And it's not like they aren't staying proactive, but they've got the soul ticking around. They know Baron is something that teams are starting to think about. Danny's continuing to scale. Impact's massive. Inspired's massive. Jojo, yeah, there's a death, sure. It's kind of a Jojo thing. Gets at least one a game, sometimes 10 more. But he's doing fine.
He is.
He's just cruising to the potential 4th place finish here in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if it continues going to chalk, but I mean, it seems like a very heavily EG favored game right now. That was the prediction, you know, from the analysts when we, as well as from Blaze Olive, it was on the desk, you know, and they got the predictions at the end. Everyone was going EG except for Mark, but I think he was kind of just doing it to
definitely
be
did
the
it.
contrarian.
Yep, he definitely just did that to do it.
But, you know, FlyQuest, I think, would have been a completely reasonable prediction because they actually showed some pretty strong games here today. You know, EG has not been really able to reclaim the form that I think they showed in lock-in. That felt like their peak, whether it was just a hot start or, you know, more of a regression, whatever you want to call it. They haven't looked as dominant as they did in lock-in during the regular season, so trying to reclaim that, and we'll see if they'll be able to do so with an upper bracket berth.
Mid lane towers are still up. I've just realized that there's been so much back and forth that I mean, it's one of the reasons the game is extending is like EG kind of have to play in the side lanes and FlyQuest are catching them, but EG don't really want to just go straight dive someone. As Inspired is actually taking some damage, does get charmed up. Decoy ready with the ulti, might just want to finish up the kill here, but doesn't commit it.
Yeah, it's because he has no vision, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know where anyone is. There's no wards. The only ward in that jungle is one that he just placed. And that's why. That's exactly why he knows Jojo could be in a brush, but started to feel a little bit, maybe I should do something. Maybe I should risk it. Tries to step forward, tries to make something happen. It does not work out. And EG are right onto the Baron here. FlyQuest, you gotta stop this. You're not winning this game if you don't stop Baron. They have eyes on it now. We'll see if they can make some sort of a play. EG may pull off if Kumo TVs, but Kumo's just not even TPing.
Look at Impact.
Give it.
He's just stopping. Okay, now they're going to stop JoJo. Oh, he gets in the pit. Viego makes it a little bit spooky, but it's a kill and a Baron instead for EG.
Yeah, they try to just commit the minimum to it, try to go for the flip. If Jose steals that and you get the Baron, then they have a slow recall, and Kumo can fully push out. At the very least, they take 2 towers from it, but it's nearly 6,000 gold in their favor. They are pushing in top for a tier 2 of their own. They have the Baron stats as well to boot. And the item completions are coming through very quickly now for EG as multiple members completing that 3rd item.
Yeah, Danny with the Hurricane now gonna shred through farm and champions alike. Impact's feeling pretty good. Did go the Zhonya's, but I think was more than enough damage in the rest of the team, even inspired. 406 is cresting towards 3 items very quickly. JoJo's got the Void stuff. Feeling good for EG.
Absolutely is. They are looking really, really good to kind of cruise to a very controlled victory. Has been quite a few kills on their side. FlyQuest has not really been able to make much happen. They just don't have a lot of tools. When you lose out early with this kind of comp, it's like, all right, Ash, hope you hit some arrows, and haven't really been able to see it. We saw those couple get fired off mid lane to force some sums, but that's been about it. And now at this point, EG with the Baron buff, they can group and push. So even if you hit an arrow, you're not likely going to hit the backline, and even if you do, everyone's going to be around them to defend. So EG just looking to extend this even further. 1 minute to Soul, and it feels like FlyQuest time in this game is very quickly running out.
Does seem like it. Is fun though. Oh, that's a very nice Q there. Stun is nice from JoJo. Finishes off the kill as well. Impact diving on in. Did get the Ignite down. Pops the Zhonya's, but hey, worth it for the pick off there as EG get the mid tier 2 as well.
EG on a roll. They get the kill. They get the mid tier 2. They have the wave here. They're going in for that mid inhibitor tower. That's not going to be defensible, so that will fall down. The next wave is not for a while here through bot lane, but EG can kind of take this mid inhibitor, escort in that next wave, potentially try to go for double inhib. I think they're trying to slow it down so it potentially crashes at the same time, so you can't actually answer both waves, and that's exactly what they're doing. They group the minions mid so that those crash on the Nexus turrets at the same time as bot lane crashes on the inhibitor tower. That's a nice little play there, not rushing to take the inhib, so you have to answer both sides at once. Of course, you cannot as FlyQuest, so it's another hib down.
Beautifully timed. Kuma back up now, and Volk's just going to go back in. JoJo's got the ulti ready again. It's Impact to the front line, just barely gonna die to Johnson, and maybe this is the play they need to come back. Afro doesn't actually get anyone. I think they stepped forward and kept fighting, and Danny's just gonna go off in this fight. JoJo into stasis. Jose can't chase him down, and Danny is just ripping the enemy to shreds. Johnson gets one final kill, but that is gonna be the game. EG are our number 4 team.
EG, congratulations, securing the upper bracket berth. You're taking down FlyQuest. A big win for them. A very dominant game to do it with. 18-5, 30 minutes in. That'll do it.
Looking good, maybe silencing some of the skeptics. EG a little inconsistent, not where they'd want to be, not the lock-in form we've seen, but still, of the 3 teams trying to rustle around for these spots, it is EG that reigns supreme.
Absolutely is, and they will be going up against Team Liquid next weekend, so a very tough opponent. Obviously, number 4 going there up against number 1. FlyQuest will have to wait in the lower bracket for the loser of that matchup, I do believe, to drop down and potentially fight. So it could be a rematch between these teams, theoretically. We'll see if EG can pull off some magic, look to upset the number 1 seed. A very strong